My client came in with back pain that had been there for years. Scans were clear, tests were fine, there was nothing technically wrong, but the pain was very real. So if there was no physical damage, then where was the pain coming from? Pain doesn't necessarily mean that there is an injury or that there is tissue damage in the body. You might be in this exact situation, getting scans, doing tests, following recommendations, doing all of the exercises, and having bugger all the show for it. Still stuck in pain with no real answers. If that's you, then the problem may not be structural. It could be that your brain is stuck in alarm mode. But how can you know for sure? How do you tell the difference between an injury and chronic pain? It's actually simpler than you might think, and that's what this video is all about. Hi, I'm Ellen. I'm a chronic pain counselor with a background in physical therapy, and I help people with chronic pain and illness find relief and healing through their nervous systems. I see this scenario in my clinic every day. Clients who have tried everything and seem to be getting nowhere. When I started looking at these cases through the lens of the nervous system, instead of endlessly searching for the damage or the dysfunction, that's when we were addressing the root cause of their problem, and they started to get the relief that they were desperate for. Sometimes these cases can be quite extreme. I had one client quite recently who was told that she was going to need surgery for her jaw pain. But by working with her nervous system, we've reduced her pain to the point where surgery is most certainly not on the table. Her pain is minimal. It's fleeting. And when it does flare up, she knows exactly what to do, and she's no longer afraid of the pain. So most people think that the body sends the brain pain signals, but it actually doesn't. The body does send information to the brain, but the brain decides whether that information indicates danger or not. Pain happens when the brain switches on the danger signals. Now, these signals can be switched on for two different reasons: when there's actual tissue damage or actual physical injury, or when your brain has learned to predict danger and keeps those alarm signals on, even when there's no physical injury or structural problem. Both reasons for pain are completely real, but the way you address the two different scenarios is completely different. In the case of physical injury, say you cut your finger, you roll your ankle, you break your arm, or you get an infection, the brain gets uh-oh signals from the body. The brain detects danger and turns on the pain signals. It's the most intense early on when there's the most damage, and naturally reduces as the injury heals. This is good. This is what we want. This is exactly what pain is for. The location and type of pain is usually consistent, and it usually can be picked up by scans and tests. The best way to address this is to protect the area, to treat the injury, and then slowly reintroduce function as it heals. However, other times, the tissues are completely fine. There's no structural damage, but those pain signals are staying on. This is called central nervous system sensitization, or as coined by Dr. Howard Schubiner, mind-body syndrome. The brain has become overly sensitive, hypervigilant, and it starts to try to predict danger and creates pain to protect you, even when there is no danger or damage. This type of pain often persists long after the injury or the damage has healed, or it begins without any injury or damage to begin with. It quite often moves and changes. It could be on the left side one day, on the right side the next day. Sensations can include burning, tingling, aching, numbness. It can change depend on situations. Sometimes it's worse at work, or it gets better on holiday. Stress and anticipation can flare it up. Neural exams are usually normal, and scans often show negligible or mild tissue damage. So this is especially prevalent in the case of, say, lower back pain. I've had many clients come in with scans that say mild degeneration or mild misalignments. However, there are so many studies to support that these mild degenerations or misalignments of vertebrae are actually not usually the cause of pain, and that diagnosing these mild issues is like diagnosing wrinkles. They're often just age-related. If you'd like to know more about that specifically, I will leave links in the description below. So why does this happen? The brain runs on predictive coding. If it expects danger or pain with movements like bending or sitting for long periods of time, it's going to create pain as a way to try and protect you, as a way to try and get you to stop doing that thing that it thinks is going to hurt you. It will create pain preemptively as a learned neural habit. And here's why this can get so messy and vicious, because it turns into a cycle. Because when we experience pain, we are naturally going to have a fear response. We watch it, we obsess over it, we try to fix it, we're afraid of it. And that response then creates stress in the body. And then that stress confirms to the brain, like, yes, something's wrong, protect me, please. So the brain sends more pain signals, which increases the pain. We have that fear response, which triggers more stress, which tells the brain, hey, send more signals, and around and round and round we go. And the alarm can just get louder and louder, and these habits become more and more ingrained and harder to change. Breaking the loop starts with changing the meaning of pain, changing our relationship with the pain. Shifting from I'm damaged, something's wrong, to I'm safe, this is a learned neural habit, it's okay, my body is fine, I know how to fix this. I don't need to fear this. So Dr. Howard Schubiner actually has developed a quiz to help you determine for yourself whether your pain is due to an injury, physical structural damage, or whether it's to do with CNS or mind-body syndrome. Questions like, have you had scans and tests come back normal or inconclusive, even though the pain persists? If you have had a diagnosis, did treatments fail to deliver the expected relief? Do you have more than one symptom? Do your symptoms move or change location? Are they triggered or worsened by stress, thoughts, or anticipation? Do they improve when you're distracted or relaxed? Did your pain persist long after the injury should have healed? Do your symptoms vary in type or intensity depending on the situation? So the more yes answers you have to those questions, the more strongly it's indicated that your pain may be due to CNS. If you want to take the full quiz, there's a link below to Howard Schubiner's 37 questions. Now, this quiz, this video, this whole entire concept is not a replacement for seeing a doctor. Can I repeat? Please. See a doctor. If you're dealing with new pain, new symptoms, do the tests, go see your doctor, talk to your specialists, rule out anything physical and structural. I repeat, rule out structural damage. This is more for the people who have had this pain for months or years and have gone through the process of diagnosing or ruling out structural damage, infections, things like that, and they have no real answers and they aren't getting relief from the treatments that should be working. And the great thing about addressing pain in this way, through working with your nervous system, is that you don't have to stop anything else you're doing. You can continue to work with your doctors or go to physio or do whatever treatments that are bringing you relief or comfort at the moment, or anything that you just feel is still necessary. This is just a risk-free, cost-free alternative that is very much worth considering if you answered yes to any of the questions in Dr. Howard Schubiner's quiz, or if you are just not getting the results from the approach that you've taken. Now, if you want to learn more about the nervous system and how we can get caught in pain cycles, I would highly recommend this video that talks about fear avoidance behavior and how to break that cycle. This is extremely important to understand for anyone who has chronic pain or illness. So I hope this video was helpful, or at least gave you something to think about. Like and subscribe for more videos about dealing with chronic pain and chronic illness, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.